Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another 10 Car Tuesday episode, and today we're going to take a look at some Greenlight cars, some police vehicles, which Greenlight is kind of known for, their Hot Pursuit series and their other emergency vehicles, so pretty good. This should be a fairly interesting episode, I think. We've got some kind of a cool little mix here. We're going to start with the quintessential Crown Victoria from Greenlight. This is just some weird blank version of this car. Oops, we do have to cut it, which I did not plan on. Let me grab... I guess we'll just use this, and hopefully... not the best thing to use to cut this. Ooh, but I guess we're peeling it instead of cutting it. Oh, well. Wow. There we go. So sticker on the side there, just plain old white packaging. And there you go. So I'm not sure what the deal is with this little plain white Police Interceptor release is about, but I figured I'd finally open it up and show you guys it, if you can get it out of the packaging. And here it is. So your plain old Crown Victoria. They've released this car so many times in the past, and it's a good one. It's a good casting. It's a popular casting from Greenlight. They released so many different police cars with this casting, which makes sense because this actual car has been used, quite a bit. Tooling number is number 44, 2008 Ford Crown Victoria, used under license. Green post on this one, which kind of lets you know that it is an older release. I'm not sure when. Copyright date is 2008. I don't know if this is the first release of this or not. Just a plain old white Crown Vic. So the headlights are detailed. They're graphics. Same with the back, it's paint. There's no inserted details on there. They do have silver in the back of the mirrors, which is nice. And then a little kind of cheapo light bar here, which is actually on crooked. It's not all the way in on this side. But just an interesting little plain old police car release, and I thought was fun to take a look at. Some of these Crown Vics, the older Hot Pursuit series, can get very, very expensive up there in price if you're trying to hunt for them on eBay. It's just crazy how much some of these things can go for. Well, that just kind of attests to the popularity of this series within Greenlight. All right, let's see here. What should we look at next? I got a couple of California Highway Patrol cars. And one of them is from Hot Pursuit 35, which is this one here, and that's the 1995 Ford Bronco. California Highway Patrol, Hot Pursuit Series 35. Really cool release of this. Oh, lost the top, and the tire's all messed up. We're going to have to fix that. That should be easy enough. Maybe. Well. Might have to play with this off of camera a little bit. The tire seems to be oddly shaped here in the back. There we go. I got it close. Anyway, other than that weird tire issue back there, the top is supposed to come off. It comes right off on these. It's not really attached at all. You can just basically just lift her right off. Got a back bench seat there. Oh, there's also, look at that, flaw right there. So silver. What's going on there? Alright, well, other than the QC issues, this is a cool release. You got the winch in the front, California plates, of course. The grill looks good. The headlights look good. The light bar looks good. Cool light bar there. Looks pretty complex. Got sort of reflective paint for the taillights. Here we go. 1884 a CHP job. In case you're looking. Safety and service, highway patrol, and again, that weird streak of the silver paint that they used for the trim that missed the mark a little bit. Other than that, this one is pretty sweet. So sticking with Highway Patrol, California Highway Patrol, we got this one right here, the 1982 Ford Mustang Ssp. Pretty cool, 1982. This one's from Hot Pursuit Series 36. Nice little compliment to the Bronco. Fox body Mustang. And looks pretty good. We got some of that oil on there that we do see from time to time. Hood opens on this one, which reveals some detail underneath there. Tooling number is 191, I think. Is it 191? Yeah, 191. So this is a newer tooling from Greenlight. And it looks pretty good. Got some silver detail on the back of the mirror there. That looks alright. I don't really see any like overt quality control issues, except for the fact that the it's not sitting quite straight. It's got a lean to it, which unfortunately is probably the most common quality control issue from Greenlight, is that lean. And that is basically from the holes in the axles not being at the same height, the holes that the axles go through, and that causes them to do this. Is it fixable? It is, but it's a pain to do it. You got to pull off the tires and then basically try to lower this side to match this side. So if there's one quality control issue I wish that Greenlight would fix, it is this stance issue. I mean, I guess if you're taking pictures, you have two choices for stance. This one or this one. So, but whatever. Greenlight suffers from that. The older stuff seems to be, you know, that issue is non-existent. But newer stuff, it's got some problems. All right, what should we look at next? Let's look at some, I guess let's look at some Beetles. So I got some Beetle police vehicles. This classic Volkswagen Beetle here to start with for Sioux Falls Police, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Classic V-dub. This is from Series 31. So let's go ahead and open that one up. This casting is older. It's originally from like the Motor World lineup in Greenlight. And before that it was used in Malibu International releases, I believe. It's a high-speed casting. But they did give it a metal base now for Greenlight and a tooling number, which is that guy right there that I can barely see, but I think it's number 58, something like that. Anyway, this is pretty cool. Sioux Falls Kiwani Club. Little cherry on top there of the Beetle. Looks alright. Details look pretty decent. Don't see any crazy quality issues with this one, which is good. And overall, kind of a nice little piece. I sort of collect the Beetles still. I don't know why. I just do. I don't pick them all up. But I have quite a few Greenlight Beetles in my collection. Too many, really. Moving on for that, we've got... These are all the same casting, I think. So these next ones are from Club V-dub series. We've got the City of St. John Police, which is this. They kind of cross these over. So it's not a Hot Pursuit release. This is from Club V-dub. Club V-dub Series 8. Same sort of concept here. We got a little bit of quality issue here on the wheel. Looks good there. Looks not great there. Some overspray. The City of St. John. The bumper's also crooked as well. So that happened to both wheels? No, that's weird. So it happened to this wheel here that ended up in the back axle, and this wheel that ended up on the front axle. That's just great. 911 bug. That's kind of a cool little plate there. So you can zoom in on that just a little bit. Maybe not. But alright release, I guess. I don't know. And then a police classic Volkswagen Beetle Right here, this is probably my favorite of the three. Would be this little guy right here. And again, it's got this oil on here. So this is cool. Get more of a European. Again, issues with the black spray. On both two wheels, this one doesn't have enough of it. This one has too much of it. So that's kind of disappointing. So all brands do have quality control issues. Greenlight is definitely not alone in that. And I understand, yeah, they're cheap, you know, in comparison to some other brands, but I don't know. It's just, you can start getting mad about this stuff. It's still money that you're spending on these diecast vehicles. And, you know, I'm fortunate enough to have like a YouTube channel that, you know, supplements my diecast income, right? So it's still spending money. It's got a crooked bumper here and a crooked bumper here. So both bumpers on there are crooked. So really the one that's in the best shape is probably this one. But anyway, you're still spending. I'm still spending it. You know, I mean, whatever. Spending your time watching my channel on these cars, right? If you think about it in that way. And it's unfortunate to get these quality issues. You know? at no matter what the price point, it's kind of a frustration. All right, and then the Polizei, Germany, Berlin, Germany, Golf Mark 1. This is from Series 36 for Hot Pursuit. Very cool release. We just saw this in Matchbox as well. Well, let's go ahead and pull this guy out and take a peek at her. Very cool. See, they do so much cool stuff, and that's why I think it breaks my heart that they have quality issues. It's like, gosh, this brand does so many cool things, so many interesting things, so many different things. You know, really one of the few brands that really focuses on like police vehicles and stuff like that. But then you end up with some weird quality issues, like the back tire on this. And I don't want to be like super picky. It's just, what do you guys think? Am I being a little ridiculous, or am I saying justified? See, this looks awesome. Awesome with the motor there, the opening hood and stuff, and everything is great about it. This one, you just have the one wonky wheel in the back. That is fixable. Could push that on there. You got to be careful doing it, but I could. Another issue is, like, I don't like the way they use whatever plastic they use for the glass or whatever typically is very, very contaminated, and that's why you have dust particles that have like made it into the molding for the window. It's hard to find a Greenlight with a very clear window, at least any modern one. If you look at the older ones like this one, I mean, aside from like a scratch right there and stuff like that, this thing is, the window pieces are actually very clear. When you start looking at stuff like this, you can definitely see all the imperfections in the plastic, and that's all over the place on Greenlight. A ton of that goes on. So again, they're keeping costs down. You know, diecast really hasn't gone too much up in price, at least not on maybe on the secondary market it has, but it's crazy how much some things cost these days. But for basic Greenlight, you know, they're not that expensive, so I get it. You got to keep the cost down. You don't really have time to like throw a bunch of rejects away, right? So I don't know. Anyway, that's that. And then and that's probably the coolest one of the episode. Here, this one, the 1974 AMC Matador. I had to get this one because it's Milwaukee Police Department, which Milwaukee is probably the closest town to me that will ever come out in a Hot Pursuit. I'm not that far away from Milwaukee. Can't walk there, but you know. But here is Milwaukee Police Department, an old AMC Matador, and I think this one looks pretty cool. It looks like a lower stance than you normally see this car in, but I don't mind that. You know, your official Wisconsin plates, they still use those same plates today. Same color, same everything, same basic design. City Milwaukee Police. Again, you can tell these windows aren't very clear. You know, and maybe it's appropriate because the car maybe shouldn't be in the best of shape being this old, right? I don't know. Light bar is kind of cool. Overall, looks pretty good. This is a relatively newer Greenlight casting. This is a cool release of it. I like it. If I was going to get a police car version of it, this was the one to get just because it's Milwaukee. And it makes sense for me to have this in the collection. So, love the front end of these things. They look really neat. So, pretty cool. And then we got 2 more to go. We got this guy here, 2013 Chevy Cruze, Carboneros de Chile. What's that? I can only guess that that's a Chilean police force of some type. I wouldn't really know. I'm not super cultured in different countries' law enforcement. But I just thought this was a cool release. It's a little Chevy Cruze. Light bar on top. Looks good. You get inserted details for the taillights. Inserted details for the headlights. And this is a hobby release. A hobby exclusive release. So maybe better quality control on the hobby exclusive releases. I don't know. But this seems to be a pretty solid one here. You got some flashing left over inside the rims and stuff like that. All pretty much forgivable, but the stance appears to be fairly even on each side. Doesn't really have much of a lean, which is good. You got inserted details for the headlights, which are a little sloppy, but not terrible. And inserted details for the taillights. And then, of course, the glass here. We're checking for clarity. And it's not terrible. Not as bad as some of those other ones. So, actually pretty decent. This release is pretty good. So, I like that. Digging that release. Pretty cool. Some of the rolls really nice, too. The tuning's older, I think. I want to say this might have been originally in the Motor World lineup as well. The tooling is 76. So, gives you kind of an idea. All right, lastly, then we get U.S. Customs and Border Protection, United States of America, Hot Pursuit Series 35, and we get another Bronco. So, very cool. This was in the same release as the California Highway Patrol, I believe, here. And this Bronco's a sweet casting. Of course, the back is removable. There you go. U.S. Customs, Border Patrol. Looks pretty good. Wheels look good. Wheels and tires look good. Stance looks good. Yeah, a little flub up there. Again, forgivable. Light bar looks pretty good. And all in all, a pretty decent release. Number in the bottom. Yeah, it's right there. You can barely read it. Some of them, they print like that. There we go, 4050. It's got to hold it at the right angle. So I like this tooling quite a bit. I think it's pretty cool. So we got 2 Broncos in this one. Both basically the same, except this one has a little bit of added detail in the front here. Of course, with the plate, too, and the winch. And plate on the back as well. I don't remember they didn't put a plate on the Border Patrol one. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just put those numbers there. I don't know. Well, regardless, really cool to have both of these. Pretty awesome, even though this one has a little bit of a quality issue with that silver paint there. Not super noticeable, though, so not bad. But really cool little cars. And then, of course, the quintessential Crown Vic we went through. We got 3 Beetles, all with various issues, but kind of a cool little set there. And then, of course, the Mustang pairs with this guy. California Highway Patrol. I wish they would secure the back down with something. It's just a little plastic piece, painted plastic piece. And then I do still think, though, my favorite of them is the little Golf. I think that's pretty awesome. And then the Matador is pretty cool too, of course, Milwaukee. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys very much for watching another 10 Car Tuesday episode. Please check out the Greenlight playlist for more Greenlight content. Check out the 10 Car Tuesday playlist for more random 10 Car Tuesday stuff. And, of course, subscribe to the channel. That would be appreciated. Thank you guys very much for watching again. Have a good day.